Oh,
All right, we're
hmm.
recording. All
Okay. So I eventually will have a new booth shot that I'll show, and um Eric photographed it both in the morning and in the afternoon, and the afternoon is better, the light is better because of how we're situated. But anyway, my name is splattered all over the place, so um
Cool.
it'll have to be obviously photoshopped out. And then the other thing that I have a lot of text, so that'll have to be photoshopped out too, because I understand that like if something's blurred, then it's just a distraction.
Well,
So
yeah, I mean, it would distract me.
yeah, yeah. And so, I have these new panels that Court had advised me on, and they looked really great in the booth.
Yeah, I know you
And
posted about it on Facebook.
yeah, yeah. So I'm excited about that. It's with jewelers, often jewelers have cases and you have all this real estate behind you that's not being used, maybe for a banner or so. But I thought it worked out pretty well. And the way I have the necklaces hanging, they're not that easy for me to get them on and off. So and it was behind the booth, so it's secure. So I'm really pleased with that situation. And
Hey,
so it's a nice addition to the booth. I've thought of many ideas, but you don't want something that's distracting either, right? Color is difficult in a booth. Things have to be weather resistant, and these are PVC. They could get smashed up, but you're careful. They're durable enough, more durable than foam core, and I can clean them if I need to, just with a cloth. So it's a good way to take large necklaces that take up a lot of the cases and have them out in the booth hanging like a 2D sort of situation.
I got an idea for you that I just thought of.
Yeah.
Sell advertising.
What?
Sell advertising.
In the food
I
picture?
don't think we're allowed to. We probably signed something in
Really?
the contract. Yeah. But that's
Seriously?
funny.
I'm going to look that
I'm,
up. I thought it was funny too. But
yeah.
if baseball stadiums can do it and hockey, you watch a hockey game and there's the boards are full of advertising. There's a reason for that. It's revenue. And
Right.
when you said,
But
"Oh, there's all this empty space," it started me thinking about that.
yeah.
Hey,
Yeah. I doubt we could because we probably agree to pay for the space and use it ourselves and not have other people there. But
well, nobody would
I
be
am.
there. It'd be like,
Well, I know a lot of shows don't want you to put up, for example, if you have awards from other shows
well,
or
that's
things like that.
Yeah, yeah,
And
or for sale signs.
that'd be embarrassing.
I
By the way,
am looking, yeah,
everybody, we are recording, so don't embarrass yourselves.
I don't care.
I am looking for an idea. I use these, this is a specimen case that has flocking and a glass top that goes on, okay? Like people put like butterfly wings in things like this.
Yeah.
And I use these for my jewelry for the local art market. So I lay out all the jewelry, I put the flocking on in the cover. This way I don't have to take everything out of these little bags because the local artist market is a morning thing. So I don't have time. However, these are starting to break down, and what I'm looking for, I could still do the flocking and a top with any shape, I realize. So what I'm looking for is something that's about 15 by 15, that has a ledge to it, and it doesn't have to be very deep.
A lip.
So a lip, yeah. And I mean, this one it's an inch high. I've only looked on the surface. So I've looked at like um uh restaurant supply type places, and I've also seen maybe some art supply things. So I'm not sure. I don't haven't honed in on anything. These
Look
are
at
just
depart
yeah,
department store fixtures.
okay. So it's really just like if you picture a baking tray or something. I mean, that's really, and it could be I mean, metal would be nice, especially if it's like a raw steel color, but um even aluminum could work for my work. Um So, um, department store fixtures, I'll try. I'm gonna just make that note. But if anyone has any other ideas,
Well, I'm over here telling you all kinds of ideas, not realizing
oh,
that I was
You were mute.
muted.
Yeah, you're mute.
oh,
I was
oh,
going to
yeah.
say something.
Oh, Lord. Okay, Allison, my
Yeah.
first thing was, did you sell any of the pieces that were on those hanging boards?
Unfortunately, my show was pretty dismal, so, no, definitely not. People
Okay.
looked,
Did they look up close?
some people did.
I think you need them out from behind. I saw your booth. It looked
Yeah,
beautiful. I think you need them out from behind the cases
I hear you. I'm gonna,
because most people, in my experience, won't like come back or ask if they can come back and look, and they won't know that if it's for sale or if it's just for display.
right. You're totally right. And the thing is, if you go to my last case and you just look up, it's right there. So if people come into my booth, they can look. But I completely hear what you're saying. I'm gonna just see how it goes first and how I feel about it, having it out.
Move it. If
But
you say it's hard to get things off, that's spectacular.
mhm,
Just move it
Yeah,
even just a
for
few
safety.
inches more
right
in front of that
out,
case. Okay, number two, you could have John Hecker build you the boxes.
I could.
The other thing is you should actually look at cookie sheets.
Yes. Um, and it's
You
a
won't
matter of
get
finding
them
the right size is the thing. Because so my idea is, so I have cases here in the studio, my traveling cases, and I thought, well, if my local art market display things are the same exact size as my cases here, and somebody wants to come to the studio on a Thursday, I don't have to just take everything out of so it basically
right.
makes it more, what's the word?
So it
Accessible.
has to be 15 by 15.
Uh, in that realm, it could be 14 by 16, but in the realm.
Okay. I know art supply places have um, like the cradled things to paint on, but they also have them in a different department
Huh?
with just an inch kind of ledge.
Okay. I'm gonna go look in the
Um,
art supply store.
like at Michael's where they have all the paint your wood stuff,
Uh-huh.
the letters and numbers, and I don't know what all.
Right, right. And
I've seen things.
the nice thing about something that I paint means it could be refurbished easily.
My other thought is if you can't get that exact size,
Mhm.
you could just do a couple smaller ones, around it.
Right, right.
And
That's
it,
true too.
it
Do
would
you
kind of
need
break
the
it up and make it interesting.
do
Mhm.
you need the lip?
I do. It can't be just flat because when I transport it, the lip basically I put flocking over the jewelry and then something heavy on top, a cover on top or something. And then I stack them together, and this way it doesn't move around too much.
Because I used canvases,
Right.
so
Yeah.
that I guess you could look at shadow boxes too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who sells those these days? Shadow boxes.
Amazon.
No, I
Michael's
don't buy
has
from
them.
Amazon.
Michael's.
Michael's
Okay, I'll go
has
to.
them. They
There's no difference between Amazon and any place else.
That's not true. I mean, I found officesupply.com is not at all linked to Amazon. They're a
Well,
company from Wisconsin,
but they
and
all sell the same things.
No, yeah,
I
so the
understand.
company from Wisconsin imports it from China. What's the difference?
It's just
There's
not
a,
Amazon. Amazon is a monopoly, and I would prefer not to put my business there. And that's my choice.
That's true.
It is.
I'm not telling anyone else what to do.
That's right. Hey, Bonnie,
Yes,
you
Barry.
know, you're looking a lot healthier, you're looking a lot better than when you were sick. I don't know if you're not
Oh,
sick now, but
really?
no, I'm sitting here noticing and like, wow,
Well, there's a compliment.
you look good.
Uh,
I thought I should
That
say,
is.
I should say that.
Barry.
Well,
Are you feeling better? Don't listen to
that
Oscar. Don't let Oscar talk.
I, I lost a chunk of weight. I'm working on that.
Is that it? Is that part of it?
Yeah, having fun
Cool.
with it, actually.
Cool.
Yep.
And
Okay,
your
Oscar.
hair looks good,
Yeah,
Bonnie.
I was
Oh,
going to say
thank
that
you.
too, but
Yeah.
I wanted to wait for Oscar's slight is or put is put down first. Go ahead, Oscar.
I don't say anything. You put your foot in your mouth.
No,
Oh
I
no,
don't.
I like that.
See, you have to really care, Oscar, and I don't. When you get to my
Well, you
age, you can
care
say
about
anything you
me.
want. Like, what do I care?
Wait a
Someone's not going
minute.
to like me. Oh, big deal.
You care about me.
I do care about you. I actually do.
Yes.
And Bonnie,
Well, I
I want to,
appreciate you saying something.
Hey,
What?
Bonnie, Bonnie,
Yes.
I want to acknowledge what you're saying about having the pieces out of the booth. For me, it's baby steps. And so I'll
With
get used
comfort.
to, pardon?
With comfort
Yeah, exactly.
of having them. Boy, I get you.
Yeah.
I had a real hard time and ended up not doing that much of it because
Mhm.
I didn't trust anyone.
Well, but like,
what?
what if somebody's
I
eating
didn't
funnel
want to have to
cakes?
watch it.
If somebody's eating funnel cakes and their finger, and then they touch it, and
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
and
if
I
somebody's
really I
eating
don't.
funnel cakes, I'm thinking I'm in the wrong show. That's like turkey wings, funnel cakes and turkey wing, turkey legs.
Turkey legs.
Yeah, turkey legs. If I'm at a show where both of those, I'm going, what am I doing here? This is ridiculous. What is this, the state fair? Oh no. What is this, one of those jousting fairs? What are we doing here?
Renaissance.
Ren Fair.
Oh yeah, yeah, Renaissance fairs.
Who sells turkey legs? I've never seen that before. Who sells turkey
Mm,
legs?
there was
Oh,
something on a
just wait.
stick. There was something on a stick
Oh,
this weekend.
on a stick. Okay.
What?
Because
I
I'm
don't
like,
know. It was a.
you're gonna pick
It was
that up and like eat it? I don't know.
Something, huh? You called it
I don't
something
know.
on a stick?
It was fried on the outside,
Yeah.
and I don't know what it was.
Banana.
corn dog.
It, I don't know. What is a corn dog?
Corn and dog.
It's a hot
No,
dog with
it's a hot dog with battered
Corn around.
pudding.
You've never
So
had a corn
maybe
I don't know if
dog?
there's any corn in the corn dog,
Kind
but
of looks.
maybe that was what people were eating.
It looks like a
Corn dogs.
Twinkie, but rounder.
Yeah. Yes. And
You haven't
longer
lived
than a
until you
Twinkie.
Yes.
haven't lived until
but
you had a
smaller than a
corn
bread
dog.
box. I love it.
They taste really good when you're hungry.
Mm,
I
not for me.
don't know about that,
Anything tastes really good when
Oscar.
I'm hungry.
I wouldn't feel good after eating something like that, I think. I know myself.
Hey,
Just imagine
Barry.
all the weight that you will lose after you eat one of those.
What? I didn't
Just,
hear that.
You're not
just
going to lose
imagine
weight
all
eating
the
those.
weight that you will lose after you eat one of those or two of those.
Yeah.
No, you're not losing weight eating
Uh,
those.
the reason you wouldn't feel good is because you don't eat it often enough.
Exactly. You're exactly right.
There's a point to that. That's right.
Yeah.
Barry,
Bonnie,
did you get my message?
which one?
The one about the guild bringing you something?
Yeah, no, you told me last week. Did you send me a message also? Is that how I got
I
it,
think
through a
you'll
message?
be.
I thought you told me. Oh, well, I knew that. Yes. Should I thank you now or should I wait till I get them before I thank you?
Wait till you get them.
Okay. The reason why I want to ask is I didn't want you to think that, He didn't thank me, what a jerk.
Oh,
So
no. I
Oh,
just want to make sure that you got it so that you know to bring some kind of sticky stuff
yeah,
or
and I keep
Velcro.
forgetting. I keep forgetting. Oh, I gotta go get some Velcro, those Velcro strips, and I keep forgetting, and I'm going, oh man, I want to do this before I leave because once I
Or,
leave, I won't go.
okay, rather than those, I would do the command strips, the 3M command strips.
Isn't it the same thing?
You can
no.
get them, no, because they're removable
Oh yeah, right. The
real easy.
Velcro, yeah, might pull. The one that you're sticking to the boards. Yeah, I think eventually I'm gonna get a rivet machine and put rivets in it and hang it. But I want to see it first. I want to see it the way I have a
It's
plan.
not, it's
No,
not, they're not big.
that's good. I don't want them to be big.
Yeah,
Where do you get the 3M stuff? Anywhere?
Home Depot,
yes.
Amazon,
Walmart?
Target,
Walmart.
Walgreens.
Oh,
Yeah, except
Walmart doesn't pay their employees enough to buy health insurance. So us taxpayers are supporting
you
or
know,
subsidizing Walmart. I'm
you,
just
you
telling
know,
you.
that's great.
True.
Hey, before Allison said that, I couldn't get this in. I'm going, oh no, Allison's going to tell me I can't shop at Walmart either because same for the same reason about Amazon.
I'm going to tell you, sometimes you don't have no choice. But,
Yes, you're right. And there are people who live in rural areas and they have to do their grocery shopping at Walmart because that's all there is. I totally understand.
you know, it's
Yeah.
not,
Hey,
it's not,
I wonder what they're going to do with all the there's very little, if any, stuff coming from China now. They're not shipping. There's all the stuff sitting in containers on the docks in China,
Yeah,
and the
Um,
docks in on the West Coast are empty, and
I will
that's
say, excuse me, I will say on the drive to Texas, so it's Highway 40, and then it was this 45-degree angle down to Dallas, and um we saw tons of trucks, tons of them, and then also double stacked container trains. So there seemed to be like I think that businesses ordered a lot to maintain them for this
yeah.
period
I
of
know what
time.
that's about.
Yeah.
They're grabbing buying whatever supply there is because they know that in months they won't be able to get anything, so
Right. So I
they're
saw a lot of
stockpiling.
that.
I did that right after the thug was elected. I did that immediately. I knew this would
Hmm.
happen, so I
that
immediately
was
bought everything I
very smart.
could. Allison,
Very
how
smart.
did you do? How was the show?
Um, I think it's not my crowd, and it's a shame because it was just a 1 day drive. Expenses were low. The hotel was fantastic. The show had a special rate for us. Um, it was fairly easy. The weather, which everyone says is so hot, was perfect. It was like 59 in the morning and it got up to 72 and it was dry and not
Oh,
humid.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I made one sale. And so,
Yeah.
um,
Allison, everybody I talked to did not do well either. You weren't alone.
really? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I mean, I have a mailing list of about 9 people, and I just sent a thank you out. So we'll see um what if anything comes back. But it really I didn't feel like I got a lot of engagement. And by engagement, I mean talking to people, taking things out. Maybe they try it on and they take pictures or write things down. There wasn't that much of that. And so uh anyway, it's too bad because and it was only a 2 day show. So
my friend
but
Josh said that his best show from the run that he did was Woodland,
mhm.
Fiesta, and Cottonwood. It was just okay. He's in the same boat than me. He does it because it's the third one in the row, but
Yeah.
it's a show that he see the potential.
Hmm.
I'll never get it to work to make it worth it to do the
Uh,
show. Like if
right.
you was just looking at the show, that show standalone, like if you treat it like a standalone show, no, forget about the traveling part. it's
Right.
not he cannot make it work, and neither do I.
Mhm.
So I just give up on that show.
Yeah. Oh,
I
it's too
don't
bad.
I don't
But
lose money, but it's too stressful to be there because by the time the problem that I have now is when I do a show, every day that I'm out, I need to make at least $300 in profit. So if I'm out for 3 days, I need to bring at least $900 because I know I'm going to make that many installations over here. So if I don't
right.
make that, the show is not worth doing.
Yeah. Well, I didn't do the artist market here, and I can't tell you what I would make because it's different every time, but I do make money. Even if I sold one item, my expenses are so low that,
Yeah.
it's so, but I've never tried it before, and you have to try things.
Yeah,
And
and every year is different. That's the other thing.
Well,
yeah,
with that artist market, it's you can't just judge it on one event. You have to look at the whole season and did you
right.
well? Because some weekends, you're depending on somebody, and maybe one weekend that nobody shows up, but then the next weekend you get two people that are interested. So or somebody
Yeah.
that came the first time but had to think about it, so they come back. So you have to look at
I've
the whole thing.
experienced, yeah, I've experienced that too. It's cumulative, basically.
I
Um,
wish I had.
but people show it's crowded. It's like if I had a store, it's my foot traffic.
That's
And
great.
so, yeah, it is. It is. But I've never done Cottonwood before, and I think it was worth trying. And I've always done
Oh,
Brookside
I
Yeah.
thought
on that weekend.
I thought you were talking about Brookside. All this time you've been talking about Cottonwood.
Uh, right,
Oh,
right, right.
Oh, how is
oh,
your booth
that's
location?
right.
How is what?
Your booth location.
I thought it was fine. It was
Because I thought when you told us where it was,
yes.
my thinking was that it was a
Yeah.
really good location.
So what happened is the person next to me, she ordered a tent to rent and they promised her that everything would fit. It's a whole long story, but it didn't. So next to me, I had basically an empty tent and they let her set up next to that tent. So I was the last one on that side. And then there was like 10 feet, 10 feet, and then um,
Oh
an ice
no.
cream and a sweets truck. And then across from me, there was a painter and then a couple of sculptors. So the thing is this, I was up, people had to walk up a curb. A curb is not very high, but any stair type thing is,
Oh
I
yeah.
honestly think the space was fine. I saw plenty of people. Um, and if I was interested in doing the show again, I'd probably rather be among the grid of all the other artists.
Yeah.
But I think I saw plenty of people. And towards the end, there was an ice cream line in front of my booth. It was so long on Sunday, but at that point, it just really didn't matter. But it would have been nice if the artist next to me didn't have that empty booth, but it was a situation that happened that nobody could control. So,
There was a totally empty space next to you and just a tent.
well, it was supposed to be this painter, but they promised her things would fit and it didn't. And so they allowed her to set up her own tent next to that. So I was the very last booth. Then there was this empty tent and then her. So it would have been better if there was a person right next to me. But again, I don't think it was a huge problem. I mean, it wasn't ideal either, but I still saw plenty of people and, interacted with many, many people. So
Could they have made it where they switched you at the empty booth so that you could be one more in?
except
Yeah.
that the empty booth was a rental, so it couldn't be moved.
They
I
couldn't
didn't
get
want
four
to use
people to pick it up and
well because there were
maneuver it.
stakes in the ground and everything.
Oh, steaks.
Yeah. So
All
it was
right.
like completely in the ground. And I
Uh,
didn't
and
want to
and
use
and one detail about that show, Barry, that's run by the city of Richardson, and that's not the people that you want to piss off because you will never get to the show again, and probably won't
Yes.
get to any show in Texas.
If I was so unhappy that I got pissed off and pissed them off, I probably would never want to go back again. So
Mhm.
No,
Very
you
true.
think about it.
Yeah, but
Look,
that's not.
everyone was very nice. It
Yeah.
Mhm.
just they weren't my people. There were a lot of young families with multiple children and tons of dogs. And it's not really my market.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
um
a shame because that sounds like my crowd this year. Last year I didn't saw that like, when I did it last May.
uh
So that's how much the crowd changed. Last year it was mostly older people uh, with no kids walking the show, and you said this year was a lot of kids.
right, in strollers. Like that
Oh,
age, they're not buying from people like me,
Yeah.
They've got plenty to do. And so
But
yeah.
What
I
about
thought you were going to do really well there. That was my,
what about Brookside? I
Um,
don't,
Brookside,
I
oh, I
only
love
I
heard from
heard it
one
was a
person.
hit and miss. Another core did it really well. My friend Steve did really well. Then another friend I was told that unknown for second hand they told me that she didn't do so well. So it was like a regular show, but they told me that the show was packed. I
Oh,
mean,
good. That's great. I mean, I love that show. I didn't apply this year because I've done it so many times, and I feel like sometimes it's good to, give a show a break.
yeah, but I was looking to, after the thing with St. Louis, I started looking closely more to who got into that show and who got into this other show. And it's interesting to me, like, if those are the artists that get into that show, I don't have a chance in hell to get into that show. Uh, Especially because who runs the show in Brookside. Because she has a lot of final say in who gets in and doesn't get in. And
yeah.
But it's kind of interesting because I think I got a better shot to get to Cherry Creek than St. Louis Eye Fair. And that doesn't make any sense to me in my head. Same thing goes with Fort Worth.
Well,
Uh,
of course you should get in. I mean, why not?
well, it's the competition is stiff. I'm not think I'm
Yeah.
the best, but I don't think I'm the worst neither. But
Yeah, but you have your vision, and you would think everybody wants a Zen moment these days, you
yeah,
know?
I think it's worse when you get in and then you don't get in, or you
Yeah.
win an award and then don't get back in.
well, that happens all the time now.
Yeah, it's happened to me.
I'll be right back.
Well, I think it's nice when the prize for winning is that you get in.
I just think that the only person that should get in again automatically next year should be the best of show. Everybody else should jury in again.
I disagree. I think it's really nice to have people who won awards get in.
Yeah, but the problem is then you can if you don't do it awards, you should let uh the director pick up percentage of the show.
Mm.
But it should be just the best. In my opinion, it should be just the best of show. Everybody else should rejury.
Then
Hey,
what's the
The
point of the
show.
award? What's the point of the award then? It's not a lot of them, don't have money involved.
free money.
Well, it's just an award. For all my concern, that you don't put the money in awards, that you put the money in.
So it's like getting a gold sticker.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like having awards and having money.
How about how about a lollipop?
They should give it a lollipop for being a good artist to every
Right.
single one and put all the
Well,
money in advertising. Make sure
I
that they
and
bring buyers.
But they probably
well, sure.
put money into advertising.
All right,
Uh,
you know what
and
my
then,
dad, oh, sorry. You know what my dad would do to us kids when we were growing up and we would maybe do like some little thing well, like, you know, bring the cattle in like in a good way, or, whatever. And he's like,
Yeah.
what do you want
Did you
him?
say did you say bring the cattle in?
Yeah, I spent 8 years on a farm.
Yeah,
Doggy.
okay.
Oh,
So
that
oh
explains it.
wow.
Yeah, we had horses and cattle and dogs and
Wow.
barn cats,
Great.
Love it.
the whole deal. Anyway, so like we would do some stupid thing like better than mediocre. And so my dad, who's from Brooklyn, New York, generations of Brooklyners, he would go.
Hmm.
I mean, I just saw him right now, so I'm overjoyed. You have to like suffer me because my dad is my hero. And I just brought him, he drove himself. He had a infusion of iron yesterday. He's got anemia. They don't know what's wrong, and I am desperate because I seriously, and this may sound extreme, but I don't know how I will live without him. This man is like, except for me meeting my husband 5 years ago, this man is like everything to me. I admire him so much for what he did, turning his,
Wow.
he grew up in the projects of Red Hook, Brooklyn, and he
Hmm.
is like in the projects, okay? And
Yeah.
yeah, and like as shitty as you can possibly imagine. And he himself turned his life around 360 when everything was against him. And what he did is he literally, an Italian greengrocer took a chance on him. He saw him acting out like a tough in the streets in front of his store, and he said, "Here, you come here." And my dad, like he's like not a good kid, like he's bad. And goes, "You're going to be my delivery boy." Now, obviously, he had more than one, but he goes, "Okay, here's what you're going to do. You're going to take this bike and you're going to get the sandwiches and the brisket and whatever else. And you're going to put it in these brown bags and you're going to write on the bag what, like how much each thing is. Okay, so you got to write on the bag and then you got to tally it up. And then you take your bag and you deliver them to all the different neighbors. You deliver the stuff and you collect the money and then you bring it back to me." And my dad looked at this man and he said, "Are you a fool? Like, why in the world would you take a chance on a kid like me?" I mean, his dad was a bookie, okay, and a
Hmm.
philanderer. He was never home. Literally, his job was a bookie and not to get killed by the mob. His
Hmm.
mother was a drunk and she was like asleep all day. And he had two sisters to take care of. And he's doing this at like 8 years old. So
Yeah.
So yeah,
Whoa.
okay, so he's looking at this guy and he's like, "Are you what? Why are you doing this?" Inside of his little kid's head. I mean, he's literally looking at this man as like, "You're crazy. You're gonna trust me with money? Are you insane?" But because that guy took a chance on him, he
Yeah.
a good man, and he looked at this boy and he must have said, like sometimes you can tell there is a good heart in that boy. I can see it. He's scared, he's vulnerable, but he acts tough on the outside. And that was totally my dad. I mean, I wasn't there when he was 10 years old, but I can just see it. And so my dad, when that guy took a chance on him, he just sees the opportunity. He was so grateful to him. If you ever ask my dad about this man, I can't remember his name. It's going to drive me crazy. If you ask this man, my dad about this man, he gets tears in his eyes, and he says he was such a good man. He was such a good man, and they were the big family. They would take the black car to church on Sunday, just the whole deal. And he said that is that man, but my dad, that man was fair to him. Okay, he
Hmm.
was, and that is how my dad learned how to be ethical and how to be a good person. Is he finally looked around him and he watched human behavior, and he said, "That's unfairness, and that's fairness." And he's like, "I'm gonna choose that." And then his whole life, he just modeled himself after be good people, like watching how people acted and then making the right choice. And he is a very plain, simple man. He is the fairest person I have ever met. I have based my whole life on, I mean, I taught ethics and political theory, and everything that I know comes from him, not from Socrates, Plato, Aristotle, St. Thomas Aquinas, whatever. It's my dad. It's my dad. And so anyway, I brought him to my framers. He drove up to Cleveland, which is like an hour and a half. And because, well, my mom's not that great, but my dad is super great. So he hasn't seen my work. Like she won't even show him my website, right? And she's just like kind of not so good. So anyway, he drove up just to see my work. And I brought him because I'm having two big pieces framed by my framer for the Rittenhouse show this weekend. And I'm terrified. I'm absolutely terrified. And I am doing things that I've never done before because you guys have given me advice. And so I've made these huge changes in my booth and what I'm exhibiting. Everything is completely different. Now the images too, but just like sizes. So I'm going to have two pieces that are like 4 feet by 6 feet. And
Yes.
oh my God, I am terrified. Do you know how heavy? I just picked one up. Do you know how heavy that thing is? And it's not even glass. Okay, I'm paper prints with acid-free matte, and glass under glass. Well, these things are too big to have glass in them. So she got me UV acrylic. That's high quality acrylic. But those things are still super heavy, and I've got two of them. And I'm like, oh my God, is our car going to be able to take with all the other stuff? So I hope it's okay. But anyway, I saw them and I was like, when you see your work like this big and then you see your work like this, and it's just like, Jesus. So I don't really, I'm trying to figure out what to price them at. I don't know, but you guys have been saying
Ask Oscar.
Oscar. So like my prices have always been low. Oh, because I don't like think I don't have confidence. So I think, why would, I just think, no, that's too high. But other artists charge like proper prices for their work. I've just been too scared to do it. So now I'm going to try to get myself to have the chutzpah to do it. So I've got like, say, $500 in these big pieces, which is hugely cheap. Okay, super cheap for what they are. I mean, they look good. They're wood frames. They're beautiful. Okay, they're beautiful. One is of a landscape in Antarctica that I took in January, and the other one is this willow tree on Lake Erie.
So, Oscar, how much should she charge?
Yeah.
I don't know because she didn't tell me the size.
Oh, like 4 feet by 6 feet.
So that's with the mat or with the.
No, that's the the frames are like probably 3-4 inches. The mats are 5-6 inches.
So what is the size to print?
One print is 30 by 45 and one print is 30 by 40. So it's a 1.5 aspect ratio and a 4.3 aspect ratio. One of them is a cell phone image. Okay. One of them is a cell phone image. No joke.
So
I sell cell phone images all the time just because I have it with me and I'm like, man, that's cool. Click, sell it.
listen,
Love it.
can I tell you something? Your
Yeah.
biggest problem is you talk too much. Don't talk so much. When you're going to sell, you'll chase them out of your booth.
All right.
And by the way, your writing is the same. The way you talk and the way you write is exactly the same.
I'm going to take that as a compliment, not a criticism.
And I don't mean it as a negative. I mean it's just a casual observation.
I'm trying to get to the point where I can. I'm trying to get to the point. Wait, I'm trying to get to the point, Barry, where I take all your criticism as love. That's what I'm aiming for. Because I know it is.
I wouldn't do that.
I know it is. I know it is deep down. I know. I mean, I know that I'm a pain in the ass, and I open my mouth way too much. But I will, and I have like mood swings and everything like that.
I'm talking about myself. I used to always talk myself out of sales.
All right, but previously I was scared. I mean, I don't know what to say to people.
So meanwhile, wait a second.
Don't say anything.
How much? You've told Oscar the size. How much should they price at?
Thank you, Lynn.
You know what I'm thinking of doing? Because
listen to Oscar.
Listen to Oscar.
I'm out.
You're right. I'll put
How much it cost you the frame?
$400, and the print.
How much you will sell the print normally by itself?
I wouldn't sell. I don't sell them that big. It cost me $95. The print cost me $95.
It doesn't matter how much
That's all.
print. How much you sell it for? So I would say You can put 1,500 and see, but I think you can probably push it for 2,000. But
I'm
at
going
least
4,500.
that nobody's going to buy for that size. I'm going to tell you that.
Maybe that
Do it,
neighborhood.
try
Wait
it.
a minute. The old city neighborhood, those
At
people
30,
do really well.
Barry, at,
Oscar,
at 48 by 72
yes.
metal print, I'm one of the cheapest photographers. They
Okay.
sell it for $4,000.
And you didn't sell it.
And it sells. When I sell it, sells because I sell at least once a month that size.
Okay.
So a 30 by 45 metal print sells between $1,500 to $2,000. Anything more than that, you're going to price yourself out of the market.
Well, it's more 35 by 40 print. I've got a 5-inch mat on each side. There's 10 already. I got a frame that stays.
Doesn't matter because
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
doesn't
Just
matter.
going to look at the print size? No, they're not. They're going to look at the whole piece.
It's not a question of that.
I
If
agree
the
with
whole
her.
thing costs you $500 and you sell it for like $1,800, you're gold.
I have been listening to you
That's
guys.
a big markup.
No,
It
so
is.
what? Who cares?
No, it's not.
It's not. Thank you, Bonnie. You know what? Because you guys have let me know that the people I'm going to have the little guy taken care of because I believe in fairness and everybody gets a chance to buy some art if they want it. So I've got that. You guys do too. I got it. But
Like Jenny, I'm going to tell you $5,000. It's not going to happen.
I'll give it a shot. And if it's not right, I'll change it. Give
Okay.
me a chance to give it a try because
Well,
what you guys
That's
have
the
told me.
spirit. That's what you
Do
should
it,
do.
Janine. Do it. Do
Thank
it.
you.
Yes.
No, there's no really. I'm being funny, but yeah, charge whatever you
Can I
want.
can I just say something?
And
What you
that
guys,
show is the perfect one to do it at.
I'm agreeing with you. What do you mean?
what you guys
yeah,
have
but
taught me is that people with money are looking for something to spend it on. They don't care how much it costs. And if they look at something like I've had beautiful 24 by 36 frame photos in my booth for $5.95 and they should sell, and people have told me they're too low. If you sell them for $12.50, they will fly off the shelves because people think there's something wrong with it if it's so cheap. And they want to feel
Perceived
good about
value.
themselves and think they're expensive, so they need to buy something expensive to think they're expensive. That's
guys,
It's the whole
that's not what people
I'm going
think.
to I'm going
it's
to
the
tell you.
perceived value.
Can I speak because I'm just listening to all you guys. I'm just telling you what every single other photographer in the industry. I mean, everybody. If you got questions, check out Henry Cliff. See how much he sell one of those, and then you can compare. If it's more than Henry, you have to go down. If it's more than Cali, you have to go down. And I
No.
guarantee you that $5,000 is more than any of those people are asking for that size. Now,
Prices.
you do whatever you want to, but you ask my opinion, I give you my opinion, and I just going to tell you, I usually mark myself 25% less than the other photographers, and at 30 by 45, even if you frame it, the most you're going to have is $2,000 sale. And I'm going to tell you one thing that you want to people to understand. Because I have money doesn't mean that people are stupid. It's all a perception of value. If the piece looks too expensive for what it is, they're not going to touch it neither. Don't get caught up in that game neither. It
All right.
goes both ways. It goes both ways. If it's people they have, you can. There's a theory between some artists that they don't put price in the artwork because they acknowledge that the person that buy 2D work has a good idea how much the piece should be going for. And they approach you, if they're really interested, they approach you and ask you how much for the piece. And then the person will tell you that sounds too high, or they walk away, or they will say, okay. But don't go pricing it up like a $5,000 for that. You must be out of it. If you get for it, more power to you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let me tell
I
you,
thought it was
I already
40.
fit. Okay, I made a piece that big, one image 3 times. I had priced it at 2,500. I sold it the first time I sold it for 1,000 because I let myself be haggled down, and I wanted to hang myself because of it. And
Oh
I
no.
felt terrible about myself. The
But you,
next time I sold it, I actually got $1,250 for it. The third time I sold it was to the president of Cleveland State University, and he gave me $2,250 for it, and I had a price of $2,500.
and
And
you
it
said you're going to price it out for $5,000 now?
45.
Okay.
Can you give me a chance?
I
just,
cannot wait to see you next Tuesday. And
you're not going
you
to see
can
her next
just
Tuesday
drop
because she will
there.
be
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
driving.
Hey, I want to know, are you the East Sider or West Sider?
I'm right over the river on the west side in Ohio City.
Is that near Rapid River or not?
Rocky River. No, no,
Rocky
way,
River,
way more close to the city. I'm literally like
like Parma?
quarter of a mile from downtown.
Oh,
I'm walking distance, okay,
Are you
from
talking about
Salisbury.
Are you talking about Cleveland?
Yeah,
downtown Cleveland.
So
yeah.
what is Rocky? Well, I have to look up an
Rocky River.
address.
It's a western suburb of Cleveland.
Yeah,
All right.
make
Actually, I
We
was
have
used to
to.
have a great gallery there.
Oh yeah. I'm in one gallery in Cleveland Heights, which is like more money. It's like where the art museum and the Severance Hall Orchestra Hall. So there's more money there. So I do okay there, I do okay there. And then I have another gallery in this neighborhood. And she sells a fair amount of my work.
yeah. The galleries are
Are you
in God, the Italian neighborhood.
Little Italy.
Yeah, but what's this? Yeah, what? Okay, starts with an
Mayfield
M.
Road. Mayfield Road.
No,
Oh.
Are you
I'll,
familiar with the W Gallery?
I'll get it.
Mm-mm.
No. So she was in downtown Cleveland in an old building that was like a Parisian arcade. The ceiling was like that.
Yeah,
Oh
the
yeah,
tower,
And
we have
tower city.
arcades in Cleveland, the old arcades. Yeah, we have them. We have a few of them.
so
I
anyway,
bought
she
shoes
had
in there.
Huh?
so she she
And
closed there,
cigars.
but she's opening in Rocky River.
Oh.
But she's building out a space. So she's a jeweler, so she'll do her work there. But I really loved working with her because she was great at business. It's consignment, and she always paid on time and nice person. But anyway, I have no idea what Rocky River. It's she's building the whole space out like from scratch, so I have no idea what that area is like.
Yeah, well, in Cleveland it goes downtown. Then you got the Cuyahoga River, which means
Hmm.
Crooked River in I forget the Native American language, but it
Hmm.
goes through. We have a national park in south of Cleveland between Cleveland and Akron called Cuyahoga Valley National Park that was
Hmm.
formed after Rachel Carson Silent Spring because the Cuyahoga
Yep.
River caught fire, which is not good.
Yes.
So now we have a
Right.
national park. It's its 50th anniversary. So you got the
Mhm.
Cuyahoga River. We used to have Hewletts and everything, so go over the bridge from downtown. It's my
Mhm.
neighborhood. So
Oh,
Uh-huh.
here's one thing. I'm going to tell you this. John Scanlon, 40 by 60.
wait. I'm writing this down. Jones Cannon.
John Scanlon,
Okay.
everybody knows Scanlon,
John
but you,
Scanlon.
Oh, okay. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
40
John
by
Scanlon.
60 metal print, frame, 4,200.
Okay, 40 by 60 metal print
Frame,
framed for how much?
4,200.
All right. Well, I'm the same as him.
No, because your print is smaller than his.
Who cares?
And it costs more.
But
I am
so
more I
anyway,
am
Three,
more
as
concerned
far
Three
as
with
that.
Hills, what
the
I'm thinking of.
overall
No,
size.
they're not
do
going to
whatever.
look at they're not going to look just at the print. Actually, Oxford
Right.
people have told me
No,
they like a wider mat. They like a
it
wider
doesn't
mat.
it doesn't matter because how much you will sell the print by itself.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't. I don't sell that size of print by itself. I don't. A 30 by 45 print, I'm not going to have in my booth. Where am I going to put that? On foam
No,
core? Where
I
am I
just
going to
ask
put
you
that?
if I'm the
Okay.
customer and I don't like your frame. I hate your frame.
Then
I
go
hate
to
what
the
you
next
did.
guy. Then go to the next guy. Then go to the next guy.
Okay.
Okay.
Seriously.
I'm going to
As
I'm
a
going to leave.
consumer,
Have a good day, people. Bye.
Why?
Ask
Why?
Oscar. I was going to talk to you.
okay,
Okay.
as a consumer,
Go
did
can I
Why,
not.
announce
why,
this?
why did that make him angry?
Can I
Why?
I
announce this?
think
We now have Roy.
he probably just had stuff to do.
No, he didn't. No, that made him
No,
angry.
he bailed.
Yeah.
Um,
I
okay,
was
as a
Well,
curious.
he had
consumer,
stuff to do
I am
too.
much more concerned with the overall size of the piece. I could give a rat's ass about the size of the image.
I
You
got a
go to
question for you, Bonnie.
you go to a museum and you can see.
Hold on, everybody. She's entitled to charge whatever she wants for her work, and there's no
Exactly.
reason to challenge that. End of
Thank you.
story.
I don't see why I have to say these two photographers are the best in the country,
You don't
and
need
so
to
I
say
can't
that.
go over their price.
It
I
doesn't
see why.
matter.
Yeah, too bad.
Irrelevant.
Janine, you've been nervous. You said you're nervous about pricing. Go for it, girl. Get over the
Amen.
Janine,
hump.
Nothing.
Do
Thank
it.
you.
And just see what happens.
What's the worst that could happen? I zero out.
Right.
What's the worst that could happen? I zero out. I'm willing to take that risk just to have the experience and see how it goes.
And
Janine, I'll tell you
meanwhile,
something that
I took an ethics and politics class. When you said that, I'm like, oh, I'm gagging because I took that class.
So I'm still interested in knowing about this
River.
Rocky
something
River.
Rocky
Yeah,
River
okay,
neighborhood.
wait a minute. Allison, I didn't get your friend's name.
Oh, it's called the W Gallery. It's not
Okay.
open. She was opened in downtown Cleveland. But she's not open yet. She's like building from like scratch with nothing. I saw the building being bulldozed. And so hopefully she'll be open by the summer.
Well, I
But
have a
it's on
really good,
Detroit
Detroit. Yeah. On Detroit.
Detroit Road.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I've got a really good friend who's got an antique business there, and he
Hmm.
does well. And there's another gallery across the street from him that I know, and they do well. So Rocky River, it's more of an older, relatively inner city suburb.
Really?
Uh,
Yeah,
Not
yeah.
when I was in Cleveland.
What do
It's
you
old
mean?
now. It's old now. Oh, that's really funny.
Well, of course, like any city, it's white flight, I mean, the whites, okay, Brooklyn, Ohio, I mean, the older cities used to be white and then the black people in, so they moved out and then you got exurbs. That's how it
yeah,
goes.
but now you can't touch Williamsburg now,
True,
Brooklyn.
true,
I mean,
true.
it's amazing. I mean, I mean, you know,
Yeah,
so my whole family's from Brooklyn.
oh,
So,
cool. Yeah, I
yeah.
was there in the 80s. I mean, that's when there were artist students and it was all run down in warehouses and everything like that. My dad used to drive truck, he used to work at the Domino sugar factories down on the,
Oh,
yeah,
Same thing with
Janine,
yeah.
how old's your
Coventry.
Huh?
Janine, how old's your dad?
Coventry was an old hippie area.
Yes, Coventry is fantastic. There's a bookstore, Barry, that you may know that's still there. Suzanne, oh Jesus, what's her last name? Suzanne, goddamn. Sorry for cursing.
I don't
Um,
know the names of places, but
Max Backs. It's a really old independent bookstore. They're still in business. They thrive because people support them. They have readings, they have used books. You can trade your old books in and get credit. It's fantastic. Max Backs. Suzanne, oh, I can't think of her last
did
name.
you ever eat at Moe's Diner?
No, but what did you?
Breakfast?
We didn't have that. But what about oh geez, right next to her bookstore is you might Tommy, who makes the milkshakes and the
Tommy's still there?
yes. Yes.
Tommy's been there for
Yeah.
like 100 years.
Yes. And you can get great vegetarian food
I've eaten there.
Janine,
and milkshakes and milkshakes.
how old's your dad, Janine?
Somehow they don't seem to go together.
I know they don't, but everything is good, so you have to get.
Tommy's is a unique place.
Yeah,
It
it
has
is. Yeah.
atmosphere.
well,
The old
when I
hippies,
think
where
of
the hippies were. Yeah.
Cleveland, though, I think of pierogies.
Yum.
Yeah.
And some
Yeah.
pierogies for
What about
breakfast.
Parma?
You had
Oh,
pierogi for breakfast, Bonnie?
Okay. I used to
Yeah,
work,
as weird as that sounds.
I used to work for an antiquarian bookstore, and he was for the guy who owned it, John Zubel. He was from Parma, and his wife told me when I first moved to Cleveland, I started working for him. She's like, "Okay, you're going to hear all of these jokes about Parma, and we're from Parma, and they're going to say men who are from Parma, they wear their slacks or whatever, and they have white socks." Okay, that was the whole thing. It's like white socks and brown shoes and you know what I mean? So it's like a not a slur, but stereotype.
It's an
Oh,
ethnic thing.
yeah, yeah. Oh, there's so many ethnic neighborhoods still in Cleveland. I mean, there's actually a lot going on in Cleveland right now. But we're small, we're like 300,000 people or whatever. But I don't want to talk anymore, honestly. But
Well, and then you have world class. You have the Cleveland Clinic,
yeah,
and
And
it's
the Cleveland
affordable. It's a
Museum.
Oh,
Cleveland
the
Museum
art
of
museum
Art
is
is
phenomenal.
and it's free, not $25, zero.
Right.
And we have the Cleveland
Okay.
Orchestra, which is the best orchestra in the country, competing with Berlin and Vienna for being the top three in the world. We got great stuff going on. But I mean, it's just, I mean, I'm not, I'm not bragging or I'm trying not to brag or anything, but it's just like, okay, it's like you can live here. It's not so expensive, like you
Right.
could every place else. Yeah.
Hmm.
And you've got the Boston Mills show right down
Yeah.
in the Cuyahoga
Yeah.
National, whatever.
I'm doing that. I'm doing the second week, the July show, which I like better.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I love that show. And
It's a
my
good
favorite
show.
weekend is the second weekend.
When was the
Yeah.
last
Yeah,
time you
but
were
didn't they
there,
cut out a
Bonnie?
day?
No, well, no, they actually, I think, added a day this year because last year I thought it was 3 days and now it's 4 days this year for the
It
July
depends.
show.
It depends on where the 4th of July
Yeah,
lands.
I think you're right
But
about that.
I will tell you that usually when it's 4 days, one of the days is a little slower, but that doesn't mean it's a bad day.
And it's
It's
the
just
evening.
not.
Yeah, they have the catering and the music. It's that kind of a thing in the evening, like from 5 to 10 or something.
I have a million.
I sold really well during that.
And
You give
when
the
was the last
kids
time you were there, Bonnie?
wine. It's been a few years.
It's been a lot of years, probably.
It was my best show last year.
Really?
My best
I
show.
mi- Janine, what was the show? I missed the name of it when you guys
Boston
were
Boston
Mills.
Mills.
Boston Mills. It's in the middle of
Boston Mills.
Cuyahoga Valley National Park. Outside, it's a ski resort. It's a ski
I
resort.
got so many stories
Boston
about that.
Mills Art Fest.
Yeah.
There's skiing. Wait, there's skiing in
Well, in
Cleveland and
that
Ohio.
hell yes.
Oh,
We have snow. We have Northeast Ohio winters. We can get a lot of snow. But then they make it. But our winters aren't as like they used to be because of global warming. But we get a fair amount of snow. We
I
do.
had no idea.
Carol,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this
Bonnie.
just a minute. I need to ask Carol a question.
Mhm.
Did I drop the ball with you?
I was just gonna chat with you and say, Bonnie, did you get my response? Because I hadn't heard from you. So yeah,
So I did drop the ball.
it's okay when you get to it. I understand.
Okay.
You're busy.
Well, I can tell you that the acorn needs to be on the side
Okay.
because that really shows the dimension of the
Oh,
work.
from the side.
Yes, on one of
Got
the
it.
side walls. And I do like
On the sidewall. Okay.
yes, where it is on the one picture you sent. And I do like the 3 on the back.
Okay.
Even though I originally said, damn. Once I saw all the dimension in the acorn, having that on the, because I would say put the acorn in the center, but then you won't see that great dimension.
Well, it is on the right wall
Yes.
in the booth shot.
I know
Yes.
exactly where it is.
Okay.
I mean, it made a big impression on me.
Oh, good. Thank you. All right. It was, and the other thing was, and we don't have to do this here, just let me know if it was the 4 whites or 3 whites with one color or the one that has like a white and a couple of colors. So whichever you.
It was 3 whites.
It was. Okay. All right. I was just curious which one you, I think
Which
that's the
is
one I
not-
sent to, I think that's the one I sent to Ann Arbor. So I'm just trying to figure out which to play with. So, okay.
Carol,
Well,
what's
that
your
was not my first choice. I mean, when you originally did the jury thing.
Was the 3 whites and the one color?
Yeah, it was the 3 whites that was kind of like, yeah, but I changed my mind.
Oh, okay. Okay. Janine, did
Which
you ask me something?
happens.
Yeah,
I do that all the time, Bonnie.
like what's your work? What's your work?
Sculpt.
Right
I do-
behind her.
yeah, right
okay,
behind me.
Sculpture. Okay.
Sculpt. Yeah, it's plaster and or epoxy clay on panel.
Okay. On.
3D.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Do you have a website?
The other way. There you go.
And she has a really cool acorn that is probably 3 feet by
Pine
2
cone.
feet or something.
Pine
Pine
cone.
cone. Sorry.
That's okay. A lot of people call it a pineapple. I'm like, what?
Oh,
No.
nice.
Mango.
Well, I
What's your
know
last name? What's your last name?
Kaminski. So it's
A-A-M
carolkaminski.com.
K-A-M I-N.
INSSKI.
Okay.
So it's carolkaminski.com.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
But yeah, the piece behind me actually got an award at the end of December in an international exhibit. So was kind of excited about that. First
That's
time I ever had that happen.
Congratulations.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
The gesture is really beautiful. The gesture.
well,
Yes. Thank you.
this pine cone.
Pine cone. Yes.
If you're not into women, I mean, images, if you're into nature, this pine cone is really cool. And because it's on the side wall, you can see all the dimension in it. Really fun.
I'll
Well, thank
Beautiful.
Larry.
I'll-
Thank Larry. He was the one who said where to put it.
Good. Thank you, Larry.
Thanks, Bonnie.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna pull her booth up in a second.
Hey, Bonnie.
Thanks, Larry.
Yes.
So Marianne's still on the wait list for the summer show.
Ann Arbor?
Yep.
Okay.
We hadn't heard any traction or anything. Have you heard anything, or what should we do?
Too early.
I mean, should I reach out
It's
to
way
them?
too early.
It's
No,
only-
it's way too early.
Okay.
People won't be canceling this early.
Yeah, here's a
Okay.
tip. You can't be too early and you can't be too late. I know that's really vague, but
Yeah.
there's an art to it. You just have to
Here.
but if the time's right, it's great.
What's your recommendation, Bonnie?
That's beautiful.
End of
I-
May?
My recommendation is a month before the show.
Wow, that is beautiful.
Isn't that great? I'll get right back to you.
In fact, this should be next to me in Ann Arbor.
It really looks nice.
Very beautiful.
Okay, here's my thing. See, I'm on Main Street, and there's a lot of people that have been grandfathered in whose work never got better, ever. And it's been 30 years, and they shouldn't even be there. So it's my thing is I'm trying to get people that I think are good to be on our street. So, not that they
Barry,
need to be.
the entire show standards review is in 2026.
Yeah.
So there will be movement.
Are they going to
Is that for
start?
Ann Arbor?
Okay.
Well, good.
Are they-
Maybe I'll get back in.
Wait a minute. Are they still gonna are they gonna start from scratch, or are they gonna still let the grandfathered people in that have done it forever, who never got any
They
better?
will let people in, but I'm speaking without knowing
Yeah.
everything for certain how it is right this minute.
Hmm.
So wait and see.
Yeah.
That was big
Talking
help.
You
You
know,
talking
Right.
about Ann Arbor?
I've voiced my
Yes.
opinion to both Karen and Nicole, so they know how I feel about that. So
You just be so sweet to them this
I
weekend.
am. It didn't do me any good to be like myself, so I'm actually being really nice.
Very good. Okay, be nice
And
to them.
I've been doing that for the last couple of years, so it's getting better.
Good.
They actually like me. Well, Karen always liked me, but I had a thing with Nicole, but I think even Nicole likes me now.
Well,
I
that
Well, you
can't
better
guarantee
kiss
I
up.
can't guarantee that, but
Okay.
at least we
Okay,
talk.
Roy.
We talk to each other.
Oscar's Facebook post about the St. Louis judging. I wanted to thank him for it on here before he got off because I really appreciated what he wrote. But one of the things that made me think, just like Barry was saying, it's like, why don't the shows say we only have X amount of spaces for people who are grandfathered in, but you can't only do it for like 2 years in a row or 3 years, and then you got to go out. Somebody else has to come in and let them rotate. So you don't have, like Barry was saying, the same people for 20 years who don't get any better. So you know.
Oh, that's for Ann Arbor. That's not St. Louis. St.
No.
Louis-
I just mean for any show.
Yeah, but
I
for
mean, for
any
any show.
show, aside,
But-
there are people who get in automatically because they won an award, and then everyone
True.
else is juried, and it's supposed to be a blind jury,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
So
right.
basically, you would have to tell people no, you don't need to spend your $50 this year because you're not going to get in. That's what you're saying. Like if you've done it for 2 years in a row, because
Yeah, they're
you
not
shouldn't
gonna.
have to spend your money to find that out.
I don't disagree with you on that at all. Because I can't think what show it was that I've been in that said you can only be in 2 or 3 years in a row, and then you have to take a year off so that because they change out like 25% every show every year, something like that. I forget, but you would know if you did it 2 or 3 years. I can't apply this year. I have to take a year off. I'll come
Yeah,
back.
there's pros and cons about that.
I'm sure
Yeah.
Yeah.
there are, and
And
I don't know
the
them,
cons
but
are you build up a clientele, and
yeah,
you know
true.
you expect it, that, and like, or if you win, like me, if you win an award and you do have clientele, and then you don't get back in, those people are coming to see you and they
Yeah,
can't
I
see you.
understand that. Sure, that makes perfect sense. On the other hand, there's a lot of people who are retiring, and we got to get the younger people to get in these and be seen, and so they
Okay,
can. I
disagree
don't
with
know.
you on that. It's a self-motivation thing. They just like I did when I was young, I was motivated to find out about the shows and sign up and do that. I'm not a big fan of emerging artist thing. I'm a big fan of having them be self-motivated to do this because it seems like these
Excuse me,
days the kids.
I love it.
I want to, excuse me, I just want to say emerging artists also should have standards, by the way.
Oh yeah,
And
Oh,
I don't,
Right.
yes,
Yeah,
they
but
exactly.
do.
I don't know if every show has that because, you know, the there could be an emerging artist who had a whole nother career and they're 62, say, and this is their first art fair, or and so they should have standards. But I totally support the emerging artist sections because it gives people a chance, who don't know about shows to be able to get in, and it's I think they get a lower rate. Is that right? I mean, I would imagine.
Well, they are jury. Don't
Uh,
don't kid yourself.
Yeah.
They're
well, sometimes you can't tell.
I know, but that's just like any other artist.
Mhm.
They send in their images and you think, whoa, Nelly, this is beautiful. And then you see them at the show and you go, oh my God, what did we jury in?
That could be anybody.
It's
That could
just,
be somebody that actually got in.
that's true.
There's
yeah.
plenty of that.
I have a
Well,
question
because
for the group.
mhm.
So Mary Ann, we applied to Bethesda,
Yep.
and they sent an email promoting their show, and they used one of her paintings in their promotion email.
Ah,
And then you got rejected, or you on the wait list.
We hadn't heard anything yet. So
Seems odd.
Well,
I
I
mean,
would think that if they're using your image, I
Yeah, I,
expect that
I
you
would,
were in, but I've heard
well,
it happening.
I would
I
wait. I would actually wait to see if you got in or you didn't get in, and then
or
say something.
or call
that's
them
what I
and
thought.
say,
I have a
am
situation
I
like that
assuming
right
I'm
now too.
accepted?
What'd you say,
what?
Larry?
Call them up and say to them, I'm assuming I'm accepted into the show since you use my image for
No,
advertising.
I wouldn't do that until after the
I,
after the results come out.
I'm
Okay,
with Barry.
that's what I
Roy,
thought.
Then you have
Yes,
every right to say something.
Yeah,
yeah,
true.
that's what I thought.
yes.
Yeah,
Although it's a pretty good indication that you're in the show if they're using your work, you
I
know.
would hope so.
But I
You
wouldn't
would
put it
think so.
past them. I'm telling you, there's a show that I got waitlisted for this year, and I've been on their poster for twice, 2 of the last 5 years, and because I'm not sure I want to do it, I haven't said anything yet. But when it gets closer, like in another month, I'm going to say something. You know,
Okay, I
Okay,
was thinking the
real
same
quick,
thing.
Roy,
Yes, go.
I would I would wait a couple more weeks and then call the guild, call Nicole and
Nicole,
ask
okay.
Nicole McKay.
Talking about Ann Arbor.
yeah,
Yeah, yep.
he's talking about Bethesda, not Ann Arbor.
No, but I know what you're talking about, Bonnie. Call
She
Nicole from
knows.
Ann Arbor,
Yes.
from the guild.
Okay. Yes. Call and see if there's been any movement in your wife's category.
Okay.
and give them some idea how late you can be called.
Okay.
Sure. No, I would do that phone call or that email in June,
Yeah, it's
saying how late you can be called,
you know,
because the people that can be called at the last minute, shows are ever so grateful. I know this from my show director days
yeah.
for that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going to give a tip, and I hate giving tips because I don't want anybody else hearing this. But when you
But
call,
you're being recorded.
I
Yeah,
know it's all right.
exactly.
It's all right. You tell them how much you want to do their show. They like being complimented. You heard it's really really good show, and you want to do their show.
Yeah. Good.
That works for me.
Marianne really
Well,
wants to do it.
it's true.
Okay, Bonnie, I got a question for you.
Oh,
Yes.
Bonnie, I'm gonna send you Marianne's booth shot and tell me what you think.
Okay.
I'll DM you later.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
No, I was
Question.
gonna say, what do people, do you think, prefer being called or emailed? And I know that goes for
Email.
emailed. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, and with Roy, I said call, please email, because whoever is handling the artists for that particular show is getting called by, if there's 100 people on the waiting list, they're getting called by 100 people. And they have other things to do. And they will look very kindly on an email.
Got it. Thank you.
Roy, you had said call, and so I just took it from there. But
Mhm.
no, don't call,
Yeah,
email.
I
Okay.
know what you
I'll
meant,
shoot him an
Bonnie.
email.
And
I have emailed shows saying, I very much want to do your show. I'm on the wait list, da, 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 and I can do it up until X date.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was just saying.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
It's
Good.
so helpful. Okay.
That's perfect.
I'll give you an example. There's a show I won't say what it was, but what it is, but I had done a show the weekend before and I was driving back that way. And I actually in this case I called and they said, "Well, your number's 6 on the wait list." Okay. So I me at the last minute, I'm going to be passing through. The next day, they called me and said, I have a space for you. So my point is that if you do it at exactly the right time, and that's random, uh,
Yep.
you can leapfrog the people that haven't communicated with them because they know that you want to do the show. Another one of
Well,
Great
my
tip.
secrets that I don't want to give
That's a
out.
great tip. Okay.
we had an NAIA directors conference in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, right before the Longs Park Art Fair. This is going back a lot of years. So I was there, and the people from Longs Park were there doing a talk or something. And so I told the woman, I said, well, my van is full because I just came from another show. And the next day I had a booth location. And they were thrilled that they didn't have to chase down someone to try to fill something at the last possible minute.
Yeah. I
It's
don't
only
like
happened once in my career.
another tip. And I don't like to do this anymore because, well, I need time to set up. But if you get there on setup day in the morning and say, "Here, I'm on the wait list," but I was passing by, and you can get a space before somebody that they have to call because you're there. The
Right.
problem is they'll tell you, well, you have to wait till to see if everybody shows up. So a lot of times it's the morning of the show, which I can't do. I can't do that.
Yeah, we
I have
couldn't
to
do
be able
that.
to set up the day before. So. But if I really wanted to do a show, some shows I would just show up at. And I know that there's a show or two. And I know I'm not giving out any names because I don't want to do that, but that I know that I didn't show up and people said, "Oh, there were spaces, you could add a space." So there's
That
always
just
cancellations, and there's always a way if you are motivated to get into an event.
that absolutely breaks my heart to hear that somebody was waitlisted and they had empty spaces. Okay, show people, get on the horn and let those people know. You can do a big group email if you want.
It happens all the
So
time,
there
Bonnie.
are people.
I had to cancel a show at the last minute. This was some years ago, and people told me it was the booth was empty, the space was empty. And I know there probably were people around there that would have loved to have taken the spot.
Yep.
Listen, there was a show, another one I'm not going to talk about, but uh, that I called the day before setup, and I said, "Look, I'm only a couple hours away. I can come right there and set up. Let me know." And it was an email. I didn't call her, and of course, I never heard from her. And then I heard from people at the show that there were plenty of empty spaces, and
Plenty. Oh boy.
yeah, and well, she got fired the next year, so that
Mhm.
I got some revenge there, but not really revenge. I mean, it's just to me it's a business opportunity, and if you want to do the show and you're available, you should be able to do the show. It was personal. It was personal with her. Um, some people don't like my style, so I guess,
Or
I'm
Hey,
kind of
you.
Barry.
direct.
I like it, Barry.
What, Roy?
I like your style, Barry.
You're funny, Roy. At first, I thought you were really annoying, but now, like, if I'm at a show and you're there, like, we can be buds because,
Absolutely.
I
I'm
mean,
telling you, we would, after the show, you and I, we'd get a couple of drinks together, brother.
maybe, yeah, well, yeah. I
That
have
could be trouble.
I piss off a lot of people because I'm direct, but I don't care. I'm for us, so, so I don't know what that means, but I am.
Got
I'm
it.
with you.
Okay, I'm gonna go.
All right,
This
What
has
time
Bonnie.
is
been,
it?
this
Yeah,
has been
quarter after
wonderful.
5.
Yeah, we
Oh,
should
actually,
go.
I have to run also. Thank you,
Thank-
Look what
everyone.
I started.
All right, guys.
I
Hey,
know. I
Bonnie,
See you
didn't realize
later.
what time it
Bonnie,
was.
are you
Bye,
going to show up
everybody.
or are you going to? Oh, you're not coming. Obviously, you're not coming to Birmingham.
No,
Bye, everyone.
have a
Bye.
great show though.
Listen,
We'll see.
Bye.
All right, we're
y'all,
out of here.
y'all talk to you next week.
Larry, get okay.
All right. See you next week, Barry.
Take it. Hey, Larry, is it just us?